G'day there guys, it's your main hubby Markee, back at it again with another episode of r/LegalAdvice. Now, we're leaving off with crazy stories from the last episode. Let's get into some even juicier ones this episode. From Michigan, my ex and I came to an agreement for me to keep my son for a week. She disappeared for 3 weeks and is now saying that I kidnapped him. I have had my son since the 20th of January. My baby mama was supposed to pick him up the 27th of January. She did not pick him up. I texted her and she said, "I'll be back eventually." During her time away, she was doing hardcore drugs, driving recklessly, and partying. She posted these things online. She showed up at my door yesterday, no car, barely any clothes, and obviously still high on something, wanting our son. I refused to give him to her and called her parents to take her home. Today, she is now posting that I kidnapped her son, or our son, sorry. She didn't know where he was, and that I'm abusing him. Absolutely none of this is true. She's not even tried to come to get him today. I have cameras in front of my house and can prove that. What I have: 1. Screenshots of every text message between me and my ex agreeing to me having him for a week. Her saying she'd be back eventually, and my "where are yous?" during these 3 weeks. 2. Phone call recordings of me and her parents talking about her showing up to my house high. 3. Screen recordings of her doing drugs, reckless driving, etc. And 4. The video of her showing up to my house high. How do I proceed from here? I'm worried she'll call the police and this will destroy my career. I am already getting hate mail. Now, our main boy Grasshopper1, quality contributor by the way, says, "You should consult with a family law attorney immediately. Is there a current custody order in place? If not, you should immediately file for an emergency custody order." Currently, he is mandated to be with me every other weekend. I will look into this. I feel I have to do this very carefully. I don't want this to be one of those "he will always be under suspicion" kind of things. Oh my god, yeah, she literally abandoned your child for weeks to go off partying. You won't be under suspicion for being the only decent parent that child has. Also, you can get it put in the court order that if she wants any visitation with the child, she be subject to random drug tests. Now, let's hold on to that statement, the only decent parent that child has, because I looked through this guy's profile. Let's have a little lookaroo at his posting history that he's had. Am I the a-hole for being upset that my coworker slept with my brother? For not taking my son when it wasn't my time? How do I go about getting custody of my son? You know, fairly mild stuff, but now onto a confession. I nutted in my brother's shampoo as payback. I can't bring myself to hate my father. I can't seem to hate my dad. It's too much. Am I the asshole for the way I forced my employees to talk to Indian people? Obviously this is all being taken out of context, but man, this guy is insane. Unfortunately, there's no update on that story, so we've got no other choice but to go forward from here, don't we? And our next post is by user Clover Demeter, titled, "Charge $250 smoking fee for hotel stay, but we didn't smoke. Location, USA, date on screen. We woke up this morning to a $250 smoking fee for our hotel stay over the weekend. Neither of us smoke in any form, and most certainly did not smoke this weekend. We called the hotel to see what was going on, and ended up speaking with the manager, who said she herself confirmed our room smelled strongly of marijuana, the sticky icky. The smell must have occurred after we checked out, for we did not smell any marijuana smell when we did check out earlier around 10 AM. They said they came up for cleaning around 11 AM, and that was when they noticed the smell. The manager said she would not reverse the charges, and overall was not willing to discuss anything further. We asked why no one called us or informed us. We only found out due to the final bill sent the next day, and she said it was because we had already checked out. They also said they had no physical proof other than the potent smell in our room. I read online I can try to dispute this with my credit card, which is Discover, which I intend to do. But they mentioned they can't do anything while the charge is pending and that we'd have to wait for it to clear. The part that makes me nervous is that we actually were staying at this hotel due to our wedding. The hotel hosted our wedding block and we put down a $1,000 deposit for any damages outside the guest rooms, such as sound disturbance, damage to our property, etc. But the guests were still responsible for their individual room damages. The group manager let us know this deposit would be returned within a couple of weeks after our wedding weekend. I guess I'm just nervous to dispute the charge while they're still holding $1,000 from us. However, I don't want to sit on the charge either. Has anyone dealt with this? What is the best course of action? Do we ask for written proof from the hotel? Should we back off until we get our $1,000 deposit and then fight, or do we fight right away? I have to admit, I'm trying to stay positive and not let this get to me, but I've never been blatantly told I'm a liar before, and it was a pretty upsetting thing to wake up to on the first day of our honeymoon. Update: thank you all for your responses. It was very reassuring to hear many say what we felt that smell was a vague and subjective proof. To answer questions quickly, yes, we thankfully paid with a credit card and Discover seemed open to hearing our case, but told us to call back once the charge was processed. It's currently still pending, and we will go from there. We did call them back and ask if any rooms around us had a smoke smell. They said none did. If they were certain it was from our room, they said they were. If we could take a drug test, they said it wouldn't matter as someone else could have smoked in our room. And what we could do to process a formal complaint. They recommended emailing them. I will say the last manager we talked to, we spoke to a few by the way, seemed like he may have believed us, but said it didn't matter if we didn't smoke and didn't know who did, as the room was in our name and was our responsibility regardless. So I guess if an elephant storms into our rooms smoking marijuana, whoops, still have to pay. I don't know, that response didn't sit well with me. However, good news. We're getting our $1,000 deposit back today as our group sales manager rushed our return and seems to be trying to sort everything else out as well. He told us we would get back to us shortly as he's meeting a higher up about this. Update 2. We've been told we'll be refunded by another manager at the hotel via email. Thank God for written paper trail. Though still no evidence on my online credit card account of an incoming refund, so fingers crossed it comes soon. Once that does, I will email back my final say with my concerns. It's clear they still hold us at fault, as they repeated we are responsible for our room, even if we let someone in to smoke, which we didn't. Again, it was our wedding night. So I will be addressing my concerns. They have 1, a serious ventilation issue, 2, a serious staff smoking issue, or 3, a serious security issue if someone broke into our room. I will also still be leaving a review of my thoughts, calmly, not as a petty review, but to let further guests be aware. Still, no one has apologized to us, which I don't expect at this point, though they did end the email saying they hope we stay with them again. I admit, that gave me a good laugh. And now onto a subject I know a lot of you guys love because of r/, but hey, tree law and MS Paint for your Sunday. Help me convince my brother that this is worth pursuing. A contractor building a house across the street cut down 2 very large trees on my brother's property. The biggest one was a 250-year-old oak tree that was 75 inches in diameter. I don't know why my brother is reluctant to go after this contractor, but can anybody give me some links to success stories I can send him? Maybe something to show him how much this might be worth. I know from many happy hours on r/LegalAdvice that he is going to need a survey and an estimate of value from an arborist. Arborist, I don't know that word. One additional wrinkle which gives me an excuse to post a gratuitous crappy MS Paint drawing. Isn't that just wonderful? Isn't that just the best? Is that the tree is actually on the neighbor's side of the street, but my brother's property extends across the street, so the entire street and the tree in this area is on my brother's property. The tree is presumably on an easement of some sort, so the city could remove it if they wanted, but there is no question that the contractor removed it, not the city. Would this change the legal situation at all? Thanks. And now on to our first update, a small tree law update. My brother is now convinced that this is worth pursuing and has contacted a legal attorney. We did it, Reddit! Here's a picture of the tree in its former glory, courtesy of Google Street View. Thanks to the user for the suggestion. The house in the pic has been torn down to make room for the McMansion that is being built. Update 2. Tree law in process update. This is in Michigan for our robotic overlord. So there's a whole bunch of links that they've provided. And they say, so the mythical arborists do in fact exist. I've never seen one of their reports before, so here it is for your viewing pleasure. I'm not going to put those ones up, I don't know if I'm allowed to. A lawyer has been hired. Yesterday, a demand letter of $268,000 was sent to the builder who cut the trees down. Michigan allows triple damages for trees. Popcorn's in the microwave. Stay tuned. That was posted a year ago. And now, Update 3, posted 2 days ago. Michigan tree law case. Full update. Yes, friends, I'm back with an update after many long months. I did not forget about you. The wheels of justice turn slowly, but they do turn. As I said, my brother accepted a settlement. This was reached through an alternative dispute resolution process called case evaluation that is apparently used here in Michigan. You can read more about this process here on the PDF document provided. But essentially, both sides provide a max 20-page summary and a 15-minute oral presentation to a panel of 3 lawyers. No witnesses or evidence per se, although attachments, documents, are allowed. The panel then comes up with a dollar amount that they think the case is worth. Both sides then have the option to accept or reject the settlement and go to trial. I was hoping to be able to watch an actual tree law trial, but alas, it was not to be. There is a possibility of significant penalties if you reject the settlement, and then don't beat it by at least 10% in court. So I understand my brother's reasoning in accepting the settlement. It turns out, not unexpectedly, that the settlement will be coming from the contractor's insurance company, so hopefully collection will not be an issue. Another outcome of this case is that my brother, who is not a Redditor, is now using the phrase "pound sand" in casual conversation. We did it, Reddit! Oh, you guys brought that phrase up before, you're pounding sand. Do I need to start using it? Alright, this next one by Nick Tam Air is a bit grim. 2 children, 6/7, ran into the street, and I hit them both. I was going less than 15 miles per hour, but they are hurt, and I am getting sued. Hello everyone. I was driving to go see a friend, and I got out of my driveway and turned. I didn't even pass 4 houses when a small boy and girl both ran into the street and hit my quarter panel. Luckily, I didn't run them over, and I don't see how I'm at fault here. Their mother came out and started screeching at me and threw more insults than I can count. She called the police and the paramedics, and they arrive. All of them went well, but today, a week after this had happened, I got someone knocking at my door asking for my name, and they gave me an envelope saying that I am being sued. I am only 18, so I don't know how any of this works. I am awaiting for my dad to get home because he works with stuff like this. I do not have a dashcam, unfortunately. I told the police I was going speed limit, and these 2 kids happened to run out into the street without looking both ways, and the big SUV parked on the street was blocking my view. They dismissed me, and I left. So I do not know what they said to the mother. But now I'm getting sued, and I don't know how to defend myself really, and we don't have the budget for a lawyer right now. We do, but it's not how we want to be spending money at the moment. I'm thinking of taking a picture of my point of view with the SUV parked where it was, but that's really all I got. Any help is appreciated. Thank you. Edit. Thanks to everyone who commented. I can't really respond to each individually, but I've read all of them, and I'm keeping everything in the back of my mind in case I need it. And yes, my diction was off. They ran into me. I technically didn't hit them. I will refrain from saying that. So a suggestion is, call your insurance company and cooperate with them. They will handle it, that is what you pay them for. Chances are the case will settle. Most personal injury cases, like 98%, do. But you might have to go through some legal stuff first. Most likely a deposition. Your insurance lawyer will walk you through it. just cooperate with them as best you can. It's a process that can take years, so don't get overworked about it. You shouldn't be personally on the hook for anything as long as your coverage isn't crap. And if you find out it is, cross that bridge when you come to it. For now, take a breath, call insurance, and do what they tell you. And update, 2 children ran into my car in my neighborhood and mother sued me. I had the hearing a few weeks ago. The results are quite anticlimactic. I am off scot-free, as I should be. A shop repaired my car and I didn't have to pay out of my pocket. The mother was found guilty of negligence or something along that sort. So I have to go to my neighbor's house to check my mail, and I'm looked at adversarially when I pass by. I haven't seen them this past week, however. My car is as beautiful as ever, and I don't think the kids have anything against me, as they were no part of the idiocy their mum initiated. I don't know if I missed anything. I'm just writing an update because the original post got some traction, and I think I recall a few people asking for an update. If you guys have any other questions, I'll respond eventually. And now onto our next post. My autistic brother was banned from the local hobby shop. Is this legal? So my brother suffers from high-functioning autism, so he has a hard time socializing. One place he loves to go is a local hobby shop. Me and my brother are regulars there and have spent thousands of dollars over the years. This last week, however, my brother was banned from the shop. A girl who also goes there claims my brother tried to kiss her, and when she refused, he groped her. I tried to talk with the owner, and he knows my brother is autistic, but he refuses to unban him. He said that he can't allow him in because he's a threat to his female customers. I think this is crap. I talked to my brother about this, and he understands he did a wrong thing, but he can't understand why he was banned. So he's been very depressed this past week and wants to go back to the store. Is there anything I can do? Is this discrimination? Because he banned my brother due to his autism? My parents are planning on getting a lawyer and suing the owner. Will this fix the issue? Edit. My lunch is over and I need to go to class. Thanks for helping me see I was wrong. I'm going to talk to my parents and stop them from suing. I'm going to go to the owner after school and apologize for bothering them and how I acted because of this. Well, that was a quick change. He said, he didn't ban your brother due to his autism. He banned your brother because he assaulted a customer. That's perfectly legal. I realize that it's hard for your brother, but it's pretty hard on somebody to be assaulted when they're shopping too. And this was them at the time before they wrote that update. SteelPeanut22 says, I understand their fears, but we have gone to this shop for years and nothing like this ever happened before. He only banned him because he thinks he's going to do it again because he's autistic. If they think he's going to do it again, it's because he did it in the first place. It's not like everybody has to assault a woman once before they learn not to do it. But they might not even think that he'll do it again. They might just want to let the woman who was assaulted in their store shop without dealing with a guy who assaulted her. That's a very good point. Also bear in mind, he seems ignorant because the guy posting this was 16 and the brother was 19, so a little bit of development is needed, I think. Now onto the update. My autistic brother was banned from a local hobby shop. So I want to start out by saying that I was wrong, and I want to apologize to anyone I may have hurt with my last question. It was wrong of me to defend my brother's actions, and I wish I could have seen that at the time, but that was the past. I went to my parents and talked to them, and they have begun to see that they were wrong too. Me and my dad went last night and apologized to the shop owner for our actions, and how we treated him and the victim of my brother, and that we agreed with this ban. The owner was genuinely happy with us for this, so I'm glad we did that. The girl who my brother touched was also at the store, and despite what many of you said, I felt that I needed to apologize to her too, because she deserved it after my actions, and she thanked me for it. My parents are now looking into different options to deal with my brother, including therapy and other programs. I really want to end this by saying thank you for helping me learn that I was wrong. Like I said, I'm sorry if I hurt anyone with my post. I didn't mean to do that, but it was wrong of me too. This has been a learning experience for me, and I hope that I can become a better person because of it. I don't really know what else to say to that one. I hope that that 16-year-old, a year ago from this post has learnt the difference between right and wrong, even if it is family. They're not always, blood is not always thicker than water is all I'm gonna say. Anyway guys, on to our last story. A guy drove off with my couch while I was moving in because if it's on the street corner it's public property. Long time lurker, first time poster. I just moved to Nevada and it was just me and a couple of friends unloading. So we left some things in the street next to the moving truck while we did the heavier items like desks, shelves, etc. as a team. I came out after bringing in some boxes. Had been gone roughly 15 minutes to find a guy had loaded my couch into the bed of his truck. I ran up to him and explained I owned the couch. He said that since it was on the street corner, it's public property and he's within his rights to take it. He drove off before I could block his car. I did get his license plate and went to the police to make a report, but they asked me if it was in fact on the curb and I said it was, but it was also pretty obviously next to a moving truck. It was wrapped and surrounded by boxes. And I told him it was mine and I was moving, but the police didn't say anything that inspired hope. The couch has been in the family 3 generations now, and while it probably isn't worth more than a few $100, it is sentimentally priceless. Is there anything else I can do or further ways to escalate this to get my couch back? Thanks all. Mendeki reckons, make the report, keep pestering the cops. Yes, it's theft. Escalation with the PD, abandoned property is one thing, but the circumstances here clearly indicate that it's not abandoned. OP says, awesome, thank you. So it isn't actually going to hold firm that if it's on the corner it's public property. Because I know trash is public property, but this clearly wasn't trash. Abandoned property relies in part on the circumstances on which it's found. In a black trash bag on the corner? Yeah, that's abandoned. On a street corner with a sign saying free? Yeah, that's abandoned. Next to a moving truck with a lot of other items from and in the truck while people are moving things in? No, that is not abandoned. This guy is trying to make a legal justification for his theft. And also, outside of filing a police report and providing the information such as description of the driver, the license plate and the description of the vehicle, the only avenue I can think of is hiring a personal investigator to go look for the guy. But that's going to be prohibitively expensive. How expensive? I'm literally delaying my parents' visit out here because I do not know how to explain that we no longer have this couch. I'd be willing to go pretty deep to get it back. And they reckon you'd have to hire a PI to track the couch down, confirm its whereabouts, convince police to take action, then potentially hire a lawyer or sue this person in small claims court. So probably 3 months at earliest, thousands of dollars in expenses. Oh yeah, I don't have the funds for that. If I did, I'd be seriously considering this though. Thanks for the help. And now onto the update for this post. A guy drove off with a couch while he was moving in, and it's considered public property. Thank you to the user who suggested I look in the Facebook Marketplace. I found it in there and got the name of the man who took it. I took that information to the police, and the man had other complaints of petty theft against him. Even better, one of the people who helped me move realized my neighbor has a video doorbell, and I was able to get proof to the cops that the man stole my couch with me standing right there with the moving truck and boxes. A friendly officer went to his house and got my couch back, as well as a few other stolen outdoor furniture pieces. One was a bench from a local restaurant, obviously abandoned. I don't know the other situations. I deeply appreciate your legal advice. I now won't have to tell my parents the beloved multi-generational couch is gone. Cheers. Alright guys, that wraps up the episode today. Tell me what you thought about that one in the description. Tell me what you thought about that down in the comments below. Sorry about that. That's just one of the examples of my screw-ups that I usually take out. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that little, edit and whatever. I guess I'll see you guys in the next episode. Have a good day, night, sleep, whatever you're doing. Bye-bye.